Hello, happy International Women's Day from London and Dhaka. Today, I'm delighted to be speaking with Mausumi Sharmin, Gender Coordinator for Concern Worldwide in Bangladesh. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm going to dive straight into the questions. So my first question is, what would you say are the biggest issues facing women in Bangladesh today, in particular those women you work with through Concern?
Thank you. I think the biggest issues is the patriarchal mindset, our gender roles and attitudes, which controls women. And in Bangladesh, there are 206 women murdered by their husband in 2022. And already in January, there are 18 incidents of murdered by their husband. So this is a huge issue in Bangladesh. And another is sexual harassment. I think this is some kind of correlations with our patriarchal mindset and everything, that women are very much insecure in their home as well as in the public space. So maybe more than 84% women are facing this kind of harassment in their life. And also there are issues of child marriage in Bangladesh. And there are more than 59% marriage happened when they are before their 18 birthdays. So this is the issues of Bangladesh. And we are facing this. And besides that, I think you can correlate with these issues about the women's economic engagement, that people's and men's and societies controls women's mobility, their accessibility in different services, and their education as well. So women are basically engaging in their very much day laborer or some kind of informal sectors. They have not that much skilled training opportunities, or not they can continue their education. And insecurity is an important areas in Bangladesh, sexual harassment and other things, which controls women's mobility, their education as well. And this kind of sexual harassment also enforce to do some kind of child marriage as well. But marriage is not the solution. We already heard that marriage cannot solve anything, because women have no information, they have no that much education to become empowered, to become dignified life. So I think these are the areas where women are struggling. Basically, they have not that much political empowerment as well. They have not participated in any kind of public sphere or community life as well. And also, they cannot take their decisions in their family also. So you can imagine a person and women who has this kind of scenario, how they will flourish their life for a dignified life. I think these are the areas. Yeah.
One particular area that I wanted to ask you about is the work with engaging men and boys. It is an approach that Concern believes is central to lifting women out of extreme poverty. Can you tell us about your work in this area?
Thank you. Yeah, we started these initiatives with engaging men and adolescent boys and girls, and we also ensure women in this group. We have the target that we will ensure men and boys. Besides that, girls and women are there, because they have to know all the things accordingly. What we did we had some kind of intervention of training, some kind of sessions, regular sessions, and our stakeholders, community level, different stakeholders, and those are influentials. They also part of these initiatives. So everybody's doing the same thing, same discussions, like what they have to do and what the changes is required, gender roles and attitudes, patriarchal beliefs, mindset, masculinity, everything. Because this kind of perception helps them to do gender-based violence and some kind of control their women on their mobilities, on their economic participation. And after the effect is they have some kind of violence and some kind of conflict in their community, in their houses. And what is happened that after the sessions, every week, every month, we continued session discussions in different ways with that men and women. And also we observe different days with them for their awareness, to ensure different rights on women and girls, what the importance of women's economic engagement for them also, men's also. So everything we discussed with them. And what happened after this session, they become very much informative, and though they know what they have to do now for their family, because they are basically men are basically working in the outside of their home for their engagement, basically for their public life. They didn't engage in their families. They didn't share ever for their grooming of their children, their bathing, their feeding, they didn't engage, because they always think that this is their women's responsibility, not man. But when we ensured and engaged them, men and boys, to take part of household chores and some kind of discussion with their women, their wives, when they have planning for any kind of business, after that initial discussions, they find that it is very much working, because they find the benefits of this discussion. They are very much caring to their wives. They have some kind of attitude of sharing, and they never listen others' voice, but they try to hear from what their children are saying, and some kind of bond is also create with fathers and their children. And their children also find that their father and mother are not quarreling. They are living in a happy life. So this kind of environment helps their children also. I think this is a learning process where some kind of some participation of man, like cooking, men are doing cooking. It's not a very usual thing. In an extreme poor, people are living in a boasted, some slum. They are very congested, and they are sharing one kitchen, maybe 30 or 40 families, and one man, when they cooking, so other people, other men and women, both are feeling that it's not man's job, it's women's jobs. But after that, they find that their family is very much happily living. So some other families, they are treating their husband to follow this kind of thing, because they are benefiting. So this kind of issues creates lots of changes in our family, because we have to start from individual. Without individual level transformation, we cannot change a family or a society. Everybody needs to change, because everywhere the patriarchal mindset is not only for man's issue, it's a women's issue also. So how they will deal with their husband, how they can economically engage with their husband, I think it's also important. Some kind of men are now understand very well that men and women both need to be engaged in economic earning, because it's benefiting their children for proper education, for their food and clothing, continuing everything. So basically, before that, they are very much restricted on women's mobility for their participation in different discussions, meetings. But after that, when they feel that this kind of discussion is very much helpful for their empowerment, for their sensitization. So based on that, they are now feeling so happy, and they are now a leader and role model for others. Community people are just, they are some kind of, this feeling is very much good, because as a man doing this kind of work, which is very much prescribed for women, now they are practicing this, and they are treated a good person, good man, and rewarded by the community people. So I think this is a very good initiative of Concern Worldwide, that we are following this and finding very good result. Yeah.
So as I understand it, it goes beyond the family. These men, they change their attitudes to women overall and in the community. And by working with community leaders, religious leaders, teachers, etc., that's then permeating even further because I know that Concern works with many women who head their own household, so they don't have a husband,
Yes.
but the change that happens
Mm.
across the community lifts and
Mm.
benefits everyone.
Everyone, because that person, that man and boys also doing very good roles in their community, because they are not doing any kind of discrimination to others. They are not become violent to others. They are just protecting others. If they saw any kind of incident of domestic violence in their community, they are just going team to and visits other families. If they saw there is an incident of domestic violence, they goes along with other team members and just discuss with that family that you cannot do this. This is a violation of laws. We have these laws. You need to follow these laws. You didn't. If you didn't follow this, we can complain this way or that way. We have thus that information. So this kind of information is very much playing a powerful role for our community people,
It's
because earlier they
empowering.
had not the, yes,
Yeah, it's empowering the men and the women together
yeah,
and bringing
yeah,
them.
yeah,
I can see how that can really work and how that makes brings not just change but sustainable change.
yeah,
Can
yeah.
you just tell me a little bit more, because you're talking about these men going out, and spreading the message and educating other people in the community. Um, I suppose they're like change makers, really. Um, why do you think that these volunteers are key to bringing about successful change in the community?
Hmm. Uh, we are working some community. Those are really struggling with their poverty, but now they are recognized by others, community people, for their information, for their knowledge, for their leadership. And already they have very good connection with different influentials or government different units in their community. That unit, like union porishad or some kind of ward commissioner, they're asking our change makers to cooperate with them. So they have some kind of connections. They have the numbers, phone numbers as well, to connect immediately if they face any kind of situation where ward commissioner need to come. So they have that linkage also. So some kind, I think the recognition is very much important, because the people, those have had no power earlier, now they have power. They know everything, and they know what they have to do, and they have very strong connection with the government bodies, community people, those who are not our program participants, the community people, and the other people, other families also respected that family or that change makers due to their very good role for mitigation different problems and prevention initiatives. And they have very good connections, and they are doing different advocacy, not only for domestic violence issues. They are claiming their another rights, like they are going for their social safety nets rights, or NIDs, national identity card, birth registration card. They are very much empowered now. Really, money. It's a very good, and I am feeling so proud to see that our men or women, they are becoming a role model and leader for their community and doing everything, because they are feeling this is their responsibilities to save their community, to our other people, to share the learnings to others, and creating a good environment without a violence-free environment. And the people, those are not taking some kind of rights on health, not servicing some people, those are not getting the health facilities. They are doing the lobby, they are creating fund for that person. It's not, I can't say the whole thing, but it is really, I believe that I really don't expect this much from their side. I have some limitation, but they cross all the limitation from their side. They are doing a great work from in their community, because that they are living in a context which is very much challenging. They have very limited scope, but they overcome all the barriers because they are really a great leader in their community. And I think this kind of learning and some kind of they are doing every day. So it's not possible to stop this in a day, because people are creating their support and taking their support and looking for them. So I think it will continue. Yeah.
It's inspirational, and I think it's a model that could work all over the globe and bring about change everywhere, and help bring down some of the barriers everywhere. It's yeah, it's so inspirational and empowering. So can I ask you, Mausumi, that you spoke some about the legal rights of women and what the legal rights that Bangladesh provide, and you've touched a little bit upon how these change makers are using advocacy to bring change. Can you tell me more about your work in advocacy and how you are trying to bring change and win legal rights for women?
Yeah, Council Worldwide has good relations with different networks. Those are especially working on some kind of legal issues, because we are, as a humanitarian organization, have not that much scope to work and focus on legal issues. But you cannot overlook these rights, because if you want to empowering women for their dignity, equality, so this is a key areas we have to do and continue our work. So I can say we are in a very good position in that way, because numbers of networks where we are entitled as a member, or as a steering committee, is playing role as a steering committee, and the National Cultural Advocacy Forum, where we are engaged for sexual harassment law, and we also part of CIDB network, where we are working for domestic violence laws implementation, and with our Engaging Men and Boys network, there are one where we are playing steering committee's role. We also working to initiate others for their engagement, where some kind of laws required. We are working on that area. And we have also partnership with Bangladesh Mohila Porishad Social Action Committee. Those are working basically on their legal rights. So, so we are claiming that we need uniform family law, because we know that we have discriminatory laws for women. So we are demanding uniform family laws for all the religious people, because for the Muslims, for the Hindus, for the Christians, there are different laws. So they are following the family laws, but we need uniform law for all women for their inheritance rights, because this is the basic area. And also we are working for the reservation, against reservation, because we are saying that in our constitution, we have equal rights in the public places. But when we are following the CEDAW, Convention of Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women, we have some reservation on Article 2 and Article 16(1)(c). There are some restrictions of mass engagement in the household areas. So we find that this is very much discriminatory for our empowerment, women's empowerment. So we are part of this alliance or networks and jointly organize different initiatives, doing rally, women chain, and protesting if when and required, and demanding our rights with the networks. So following these areas we are doing, yeah.
So absolutely, and that's key, isn't it? That's essential, going from the ground up within the families, within the communities, but also nationally, because if you don't change the law, then that has to underpin everything.